Om Namo Venkatesaya. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavathanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashanteye Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanideye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Tismarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchate Namastasmi Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Lakshmi Nata Samarambam Nate Amana Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Partaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Namo Venkatesaya. My pranams everybody. So we are recapitulating the chapter 9. So we completed up to chapter 1 to chapter 8 last Saturday. So we'll start the chapter 9. So Bhagavan says in chapter 9 beginning, so I'm going to talk to you about this Rajavidya, Rajagukyam. Rajavidya, the king of the knowledge, as well as the most secret knowledge. And why I'm going to give you this? Because Anasuyave, that means you are a person without any jealousy. So that is one of the qualifications Bhagavan looks at when he wants to give knowledge to any person. So Bhagavan here says, because you are you don't have that, the jealousy, the quality of jealousy, and therefore I'm going to give you this knowledge. And then he says, Rajavidya, Rajagukyam, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshāvagam Dharmyam, Susukam Kartumam. So that means, Bhagavan, this is a very, very pure knowledge, very divine knowledge, very important knowledge. Rajavidya, Rajagukyam, Uttamam. So greatest knowledge. So Pratyaksha Avagam, that means when you directly experience this particular knowledge, which is as per the dharmic principles, it is established in, you are deep rooted in dharma. While performing it also, it will give you susukam, it will give you happiness. Kartum avyayam, that means the actions will become absolutely immutable. So that is the greatness of this particular knowledge. In fact, susukam means the bhakti is the one path, the karma yogam or jnana yogam, whatever you talk about. But then bhakti yogam is very sweet and pleasant right from the beginning. So that's why most of the alvas or all the alnayanmas or whosoever people are practicing this bhakti yoga, they have been even saying that now we don't even want mukti because they enjoy while being the process itself is so pure, this sukham, that means so pleasant. They want to continue this path itself. The means itself becomes the end. So they don't want any other end other than just following this path of bhakti, because that's a path of love. Love is the nature of all of us, and therefore when you start have unconditional love for Bhagavan, that itself becomes so happy and pleasant. That's why this Tondaradi Padiyar was said, Ichuvai Tavirayan Poi Indira Lokamalam Achuvai Perinam Venden Arangamanam. That means when I'm coming to you and then worshipping you, doing archana, everything every day. Then Bhagavan says, Alvar, you have done so much of good things, so many punya karmas. So I'm going to appoint you as because of your punya karma, you are going to become the Indra for the next manvantara. Then Alvar says, no, I don't want Ichuvai Tavirayan Poi Indira Lokamalam. If you give me the Adipati of the Swargalokam also, I don't want it. Achivai Perinam Arangama, I want only this because this is so pleasant. Supposing, in the younger days, we used to have this tonsils operation used to be performed on for people when they are young. So when they perform one of the what you call the post-curative measure, the doctor will prescribe is you should take ice cream. So the children will start consuming the ice cream. Even after the healing has taken place, they'll consume because they enjoy that, no? Like that, the bhakti is so pleasant right from the beginning, and therefore susukam, kartum avyam. So that means you enjoy doing it continuously. Once you have the love, you don't mind doing, you enjoy doing this archana, whatever actions that you perform becomes avyam. That means immutable. That's what Bhagavan says. Now let's move. Then he subsequently talks about, this people who don't have this faith on this particular knowledge. Ashadra dhanaha purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsa. That means people don't have faith in me or in this particular this path of dharma. They always, they don't get me, and therefore they will keep on coming into this samsara chakra again and again and again and again. That's what Bhagavan says. Then, of course, he's talking about his nature. This is what he talked about in chapter 7 also. So in my unmanifest form, that means it's in his immutable form, the entire world is being pervaded. The word Vishnu itself in Vishnu Sahasranam is all pervasive. So that means it's present in all places. And then they are in me, but I'm not in them. They are in me and I'm not in them. Then in the sense that they are dependent on me for their existence, but I am not dependent on them for my existence, because I have an independent existence apart from. Because when the entire world is annihilated, also Bhagavan exists. So that means Bhagavan's dependence or existence is not dependent on them, and therefore, although they remain in me and I don't remain in them. And again, Bhagavan goes to a further extent, saying that even they don't exist in me, in the sense, not in the physical sense of, supposing if in a tumbler, if there's a water, the water is contained in the tumbler. Bhagavan says it is not in that process. That's what Bhagavan is trying to say. They are being sustained by because of my sankalpa. That is the sankalpa. That means by his own wish. If he says, yes, this has to exist, then it exists on its own. It doesn't mean in a physical sense. You can look at the various planets, everything is being existing. The planets are existing in the space. So they are all, Bhagavan by sankalpa, because you can imagine the kind of several planets rotating at such kind of a velocities, but there is no collision taking place and all sorts of things. Bhagavan is by sankalpa Sakti is able to sustain them. That's why when he says that even they don't exist in me in the sense of physical sense of present in him, that's what he is trying to say. Like, this the entire air is contained in this, the space, but the space doesn't get contaminated, the space doesn't get affected by the presence of air in that. That's what Bhagavan is trying to say. Like they all reside in me, like the air in the space as such. Then all this, then he talks about all this, the creation, sustenance, everything comes into the world at the time of creation. Then they again go back into me. So the entire the creation and other things are existing through my prakriti. So that the power of the Bhagavan delegates the entire sustenance and then the creation, sustenance, and then annihilation to the process of prakriti, and that is operating through my own sankalpa Sakti will. That's what Bhagavan says. Then nachamam tani karmani nibandanti dhananjaya udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmasi. Although I'm doing all these things, the creation, sankalpam, everything, nothing binds me, because I don't do it for anyone, for my own selfish purposes, and therefore nothing, whatever actions that you do, nothing binds me in this as because I'm sitting like a udasina. That means as a person who is detached from all these activities and residing as an observer, as a sakshi. That's what it is. So the entire under my leadership, under my control only, the entire energy, this prakriti functions, and then producing all this, the creation and all those things. Then all these people who don't know me, avajananti mamudaha manushim tanumashritam param bhava majanantah mama bhuta maheshwaram. That means all these people think that I'm only contained in this, 7 feet, 8 feet body, but I'm beyond all those things. I'm the bhuta maheshwaram. I'm the Lord of this entire universe, all the beings. They don't know me param tattvam. That means they don't know me this paratattva. That means this, my ability to pervade and transcend all this entire universe. They don't know me, and therefore they just think that I'm being contained in this, the 7 feet. That's what Duryodhana did. Duryodhana wanted to, when Krishna went for as a messenger to Kauravas palace, Duryodhana wanted to capture him and creating a kind of, some cell under this, the Rajya Sabha, so that when Krishna stands there, he will fall into that and then he can be captured. Because he thought that the Krishna could be contained in this, this 7 feet or 8 feet body. But then Bhagavan wanted to prove that, he took that Vishwarupa Darshanam. So he said, I'm beyond all this. I'm not contained in this 8 feet or something like that. So he gave that Vishwarupa Darshan to all the people in the Rajya Sabha. So that means that's what it is. Bhagavan says, these moodas, people, dull-witted people, they don't know me, my true nature, and therefore they just think that I'm this the 7 feet, 8 feet body or something like that. Then all these people, that is mogashaha, moga karmano, moga jnana vichetasaha, rakshasim ashuram chaiva, prakritim mohinim. All these kind of people, the dull-witted people, all their hopes are in vain, their actions are in vain, their knowledge is on vain. So without senseless people, they keep on taking the qualities of the rakshasas through delusion, and therefore they don't know me completely. In contrast, Bhagavan says, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti masritaha bhajanti ananya manasa nyatva bhutadim avjayam. That means, on the other hand, people who know me well, Mahatmanaha, the great people who know me well, they are with the divine qualities, because the daivim prakriti, because of their divine nature, they worship me without any other thought. Ananya manasa, without any other thought, they bhajanti, they worship me without any other thought, knowing me to the bhuta. That means I am the creator of this universe, I am the beginning, and avyam, immutable. They know my complete nature, and therefore they worship me. without any other thought. That's what Bhagavan says. Satatam kirtayantaha mam yatantascha dadavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upaste. And he's saying what those people do. Satatam kirtan, always praising me, always worshipping, always praising me. Mam yatantas, that is with the firm resolve of ultimately reaching me. Those people make all the strive, putting all their efforts. Namasyantaha, that means they keep up prostrating me with bhaktya, with love and affection. Nitya Yukta, that means they always remain mentally with me and they keep on worshipping me. That's what the Mahatmanaha, that's what they do. Other people perform this Jnana Yajna, that is, they spread this the message about me to all the people. Anye Ajanto Mam Upasti. So the different types of people have different forms of worship, and other people do the Jnana Yajna. And then Ekatvena Pratitvena Bhaguda Vishwatvam. They see one in me, in all the beings. So they are able to see the one, that is Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. That's what Bhagavan said in chapter 7. Same thing. They are able to see Bahuda, the various objects, multiplicity of objects. They are able to see one in me, the one person who is unifying all of us. Now, Bhagavan said in Sutre Manigana Viva. That's what chapter 7 he said. Like that one thread which runs across the entire garland, like that they see the one person who is equally present in all the beings. They are able to see that. That's what Bhagavan says. Aham kartur aham yajnah swadaham aham aushadam mantroham aham ajyam aham agnihi aham hutam. That means Bhagavan says in the yajna everything is me. I am the person. I am the yajna itself. Yajna vai Vishnu. That's what the Vedas say. Aham yajna. Aham the oblations. I am the one who is pouring these oblations to them. I am the ghee. That means the ajyam. Aham agni. The agni is also me. Aham the person who is being receiving all these these oblations also. I am the Pitamahas. That means I am the grandfather of this. The grandfather. I am the mother. I am the father. I am the supporter. So everything is me only. Some people understand me, the real form of me as the Omkara. I am the three Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Sama. Everything is me. That's what Bhagavan says. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Huta Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijamavyam. So he's saying everything is me. I am the goal. I am the sustainer. I am the master. I am the witness. I am the abode. I am the refuge. And then I am the most dear friend of everybody. I am the creation. I am the annihilation. Everything. I am the resting place of everything. So that means everything. The one person, everything is him. That's what he says. The first Nama in Vishnu Sahasranam, Vishwam. When you say Vishwam, is the entire universe is him. That means whatever different objects you see is only Bhagavan himself. I am the person who gives the rain. I am the person who is giving the sunlight also. So everything is me. That's what Bhagavan says. So there are some people who follow this what do you call this? The karma portion of this Vedas. Traividya Mam Somapa. That means they perform these various yajnas. They drink the Somapa. That is the remnants of these yajnas. They want to go to this Punya Lokas. They go to this, this Swarga Loka and the Chandra Loka, and then they want to enjoy that. Bhagavan is talking about this, the Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa people, the Jaimini and other type of people who are more interested in the karmic portion. That is the karma portion of this Vedas. So they do all these things. They want to enjoy the benefits of these various lokas. Having enjoyed the lokas, Swarga Lokam, Shine Punya, Marta Lokam. After all, once the punyas and everything is exhausted, they come back to this, this particular this loka. So they are interested in this loka, and therefore they keep on coming back and again. This is what the samsara chakra is. Those kind of people who just follow the ritualistic portion of the Vedas as such. So the famous sloka, Ananyas Chintayantamam Ejana Paryupaside Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogacham. On the contrary, my bhaktas who don't have any other thoughts than me, Anya Chinta, they don't have any other thoughts. Anya Chintamam Ejana they keep on worshipping me. For them, I take care of their Yogachema. That means I take care of I provide them whatever is required by them, and I also protect whatever is required by them. So we saw that example of Sridhara Swami, who thought that it was Dadami. Then Bhagavan himself came and corrected it and said, Vahami, I take the responsibility for that. In the other example of Ambarisha also, we found that when Ambarisha was so much devoted to him, Bhagavan installed the Sudarsana Chakra at the back of him to protect him. So by Yoga Chema, Bhagavan is just exhibiting, Bhagavan is saying that. So people who worship the other gods also are also worshipping me, but not in a avidhi purvakam. That means they are not they are worshipping in a proper manner. So he's saying, Bhagavan, Aham the Sarva Yajnanam Bhoktacha Prabhu. I am the ultimate enjoyer of this entire, whatever is oblations being, whether it is if you perform a Soma Yajna, or this Varuna Yajna or Indra Yajna, whatever Yajna you perform, Bhagavan says, I am the ultimate enjoyer of all those things, and I am the Lord of all these various yajnas. So the people who do not fully understand my true nature, they keep on coming into this samsara chakra again and again and again. So again, Bhagavan says, whichever if a person worships the devatas, he goes to devata lokas. A person worships pitrus, they goes to pitru lokas. A person worships the bhuta pisachas, this this tamasic type of spirits, they go to that loka. And people who come to me, who worship me, they come to me alone. So but the one advantage of going to the Bhagavan's loka is nacha punaravartate, nacha they don't come back into the samsara chakra as such. So again, beautiful sloka. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upavartam asnan preta. We discussed in length about with examples for each one of them. A person who offers pushpam, that means a patram, that means a leaf or a flower or a fruit or even nothing is possible, even a drop of water, Bhagavan is saying. But the underlying word is bhaktya, the love and affection. A person who offers it love and affection, I take it. Since it is being offered with love, I consume that. Tadham bhakti upagratam. Asnami Pretan. Like when, again, in the same example of when Bhagavan went to this Kauravas for as a messenger, at that time everybody invited, because Bhagavan reached around late in the evening. Then everybody said that Dhritarashtra says, let's meet in the proposal. We'll discuss it in the royal court tomorrow morning. So everybody invited Krishna to their home for a dinner. And then Bhagavan went to the house of Vidura, who thought that Bhagavan will never come to his house, and therefore he did not even invite him. So Bhagavan goes to the house of Vidura, and then when Vidura was so much wonderstruck at, was amazed. Therefore, he didn't know what he was doing. He was so much excited, so he requested Bhagavan to sit, and then he was offering this plant and fruit. Now, in that excitement, he was throwing away the fruit and giving only the plant and skin, and Bhagavan consumed that also. So bhaktya prayachiti. So Bhagavan doesn't look at what is being offered, but the bhava, the bhava behind that is what Bhagavan looks at. That's what he says, talking about in sloka 26. Then Bhagavan gave a very, very easy solution to all of us. Yat karoshi, yat nasnasi, yat juhoshi, tadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteyi, tat kurusha madar. Do everything as an offering to me. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give as dana, whatever tapas you are, everything you just madarpanam. That means Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. At the end of everything, if you say Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu, with not in a mechanical way of saying it in words, but with a mental attitude, yes, I'm offering everything that I'm doing with you. So initially, if you start doing it, maybe even the bad things that you do, you'll offer it to Bhagavan. Then slowly you'll start realizing that, whatever suppose if in Naivedyam, if there is a lantern which is not good, which is rotten, you won't offer it to the Bhagavan as such. So like that, slowly then you'll start realizing that, these are the things which Bhagavan doesn't like. These are not good things. I should not offer it to him. So slowly that, evolution will take place and you'll come into the right path. Shubha Shubha Palairevam Motchase Karma Bandhanehi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukte Mam Upashyasi. That means once a person starts that, he gets completely liberated from the bondage of Papa and Punya, and then gets completely united with me, and therefore he will reach me. That's what Bhagavan says. Samoham sarvabhuteshu yome dveshyo na asti cha priya. That means Bhagavan says, I reside equally in all people. I don't have any specific hatred or any specific liking for anybody. But one thing which says, ye bhajanti mam bhaktya maite teshu chab. That means a person who loves me, that person resides in me and I reside in that person. So the fact that he is residing in everybody is common. But the word Bhagavan says is he resides in me. That is more important. The fact that Bhagavan resides in everybody is known to us. But then Bhagavan says, Jnani tu atme me mataha. That's what he said in chapter 7 also. Jnani is like the core of my heart. That's what Bhagavan says. Similarly, that Bhakta resides in my heart. That's what he's saying. So that's what the Bhagavan is glorifying the Bhaktas in this. The entire chapter 9 is more glorification of the Bhakti Yoga, although we have the separate chapter 12 of Bhakti Yoga. So apichet sudacharaha bhajate ma mananya bhak sudha sadhureva chat mantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. That means another important message Bhagavan is giving to all of us, seeing that even if he is the worst ever sinner, our sin he must have committed, once he starts worshipping me, he must be considered as sadhu. Sadhureva, he should be considered as sadhu because he has made a right resolve and start following the right path. So the moment a person starts following the right path, he must be considered as sadhu. That's what Bhagavan says. So he has given us all of hope. However, whatever you have done till today, Doesn't matter. From today onwards, let's start worshipping the Bhagavan, and Bhagavan considers us to be the sadhu. That's what Bhagavan says. And that's why he wants everybody to be considered as that. And then Chipram Bhavati Dharma. Thereafter, he becomes slowly, not slowly, very fast also. Chipram means very fast, very soon. Very soon, he becomes a Dharmatma because of the resolve to become starts worshipping me, and because of the grace of the Bhagavan also flows to him, and slowly he becomes a Dharmatma, and then he gets peace of mind. Shashvat Shantim Nigachati Kaunteya Prati Janahi Name Bhakta. Very beautiful sloka. Bhagavan says, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My Bhakta, my devotee will never get destroyed. Bhagavan gives this assurance. I'll make sure that the devotee never gets destroyed. That's what he says. Example, same Ambarisha Vyakyanam, when this Durvasa heard this, this ghost against this Ambarisha, it was Sudarsana Chakra were protected and drove against even it had to Durvasa Maharshi has to run for his life because of that. So Bhagavan said, Name Bhakta Pranashiti. This is a beautiful word. Bhagavan is giving an assurance. My Bhakta will never get destroyed. In the same thing which he said in chapter 6 also, Yoga Prashtu. So even if a person falls from his path of Yoga Prashta while performing that person ultimately, after reaching whatever enjoyments he wants in different lokas, comes into a place, Suchinam Shimatam Gehe Yoga Prashtam. He gets into a right environment for him to continue from where he left in the previous birth, not starting from beginning. So he'll continue from there, and the current birth he'll completely reach. That's what Bhagavan said. That is, again, he's giving that assurance here. Mam hi partha vyapasite chepi seshu papa yoneha sriyo vaishyo tada shuddhaha tepi yanti mam katat. Means a people who are not authorized to chant Vedas or learn Vedas or understand the meaning of this, even those people, if they take shelter and they ultimately reach Paramgati. That's why Bhagavan is giving an assurance that the people like the women, Striyaha, Vaishyaha, and then this Shudra, all these three people they are not entitled to learn Vedas or something like that. Anyway, that's a different topic by itself. Maybe it's not we can discuss on some other day if time permits. But then Bhagavan's assurance is, that means for getting moksha, Bhagavan is saying that it is not exclusive right of any particular community or clan or varna or whatever it is. Everybody is entitled to moksha. That is a samanya dharma. Bhakti is a samanya dharma. Anybody can do bhakti, including the jantus, including this people like Jatayu or this Gajendra. Anybody can do bhakti. So that's a samanya bhakti. And once a person does a samanya bhakti, Bhagavan says, Paramgati. That means he reaches me above. If that is the case, what about the Kshatriyas like you, Arjuna, and then Brahmanas, who have the privilege of knowing the Vedas and understanding the full meaning of the Vedas, and what the Vedas says is only about me. So definitely, please understand, this world is full of anityam ashukam. That means it is impermanent as well as sorrowful. So Lokamita, having known that, become my bhakta, and then start doing the developing bhakti. Definitely, you will also reach me. That's what Bhagavan gives assurance to Arjuna. And the last sloka, beautiful sloka, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyachi mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktiyaiva atmanam matparayanaha. So Bhagavan says, Madbhakta, oh my dear devotees, Manmana, always have me in your mind. Matyaji, please worship me. Mam namaskuru, so prostrate before me. Mame yukta eva atman, that means having uniting your mind and intellect with me. Matparana, taking me as your own goal. So take me as your goal and thinking about me always and doing all the prostrations and worship. Mameva, you will reach me and me alone. Eva is an important word here. You will reach me and me alone. That's what Bhagavan says. Once we reach his home abode, there is no question of coming back into the samsara. So this is how the chapter 9 begins. Tomorrow we'll talk about chapter 10. Vasudevasutam devam kamsachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagatum sarvam Sri Krishnarpnamastu. Krishna Krishna.